say, as you specializing in penny stocks, that means that you buy stocks that cost anywhere from $1 to $5. Now, somebody may look at that and be like, you really are small time. Yeah, I'm small time. So what? At least I'm in the stock market. At least I've been in there and, I know what's what. So I'll take that with a grain of salt, whatever it is that you have to say, because, hey, you're going to be haters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But let's just say we go into penny stocks. We have $100 and we take $100 and not only do we buy anything from $1 to $5, which is the actual penny stock, but we buy $1 worth of things like Microsoft, like IBM. We buy fractional stocks of these things. You buy fractions. So every day, let's say out of 10 days, in 10 days, with 100 stocks, in 10 days, you bought really $10 worth of penny or fractional stocks. Mm-hmm. Okay? So after 10 days, you should have how much in that portfolio? If it's 100 stocks, mm-hmm. It's 100 companies, mm-hmm. and you bought yourself $10 worth of each.
Worth of 100 stocks?
Worth of 100 stocks. Mm-hmm. All right? And each company, you have $10 worth of it, and there's 100 companies. At the end of the day, after 10 days, how much is that portfolio worth?
Now, before I answer, I have a question, because with the stock market, it could go down and could go up.
Listen, we're going to get to that. Uh-huh. But just explain to me, if you have 100 stocks and $10 in each stock, how much do you have by the end of the day, after 10 days?
Maybe 1,000, maybe some more.
Okay. So you have $1,000 of a portfolio after 10 days. And what did you do? You just took $1 and you put it into these penny stocks each day, one after another for 10 days. Mm-hmm. So after 10 days, you got $1,000 in there, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So now let's say that, you decided that's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. I'm going to sell, some stock. Mm. See, for me, I never believe in selling 100%. I always sell, 85, 90%.
And you just leave one.
And So when it goes to sell, instead of me selling $10 worth of stock, I'll sell $9. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then instead of me just putting $1 from now on, I may put $1.15, $1.25 on some stocks. And then on certain times, it's like you got to look for the ones that are really going up and you put more on them. It's like you building a little city. Mm-hmm. And you say, just look at the picture of the stock market, and you picture any city that you would like it to be. Mm-hmm. You can actually picture it also to be, attractions of nature, like, a river, like an ocean, like a waterfall, okay? The point is that you have so many different products from so many different sectors, so many different industries in the stock market. You could choose to build or to, depict, to establish a financial portfolio based on stocks of so many different kinds. Again, you look at penny stock, but then you got dividend stocks. You look at dividend stocks, okay, then you look at non-dividend stocks. What's the benefit of the non-dividend stocks versus the dividend stocks? You need to know that.
Yeah, you get
all right.
Percentage back.
You don't get percentage back from non-dividend stock.
No, just the dividend.
For the dividend. What's the benefit of the non-dividend stock? So you need to understand that. Another thing you need to understand is a time mechanism. You need to understand how you can use time in order to get ahead of the movement. Okay? Stocks move. Even if you're talking about an ocean, things move. A river, things move. Waterfall, things move. In a city, things move. Okay, so you need to familiarize yourself with the movement and taking time mechanism and putting it at certain, locations of your makeup, better known in the military term as checkpoints. You got to establish your checkpoints. And what that means is basically, let's say the stock market, does it open or does it close on Saturday?
Closes.
It closed on Saturday. Okay. So what is it about Saturday that you can do to help you out with your portfolio?
Study the upcoming stocks.
Okay. You can study the upcoming stocks. That's one way. What else can you do? So that's part of research, by the way.
Yeah, manage. Yeah, research the stock.
Listen,
Upcoming stocks.
I mean, in about 5 minutes, I could probably show you a good 50 stocks that, are going up in about 5 minutes. I mean, if you're really good with research, you can really do that. The platforms that you have. That's a good thing about nowadays. You got digital, so you don't have to go to, the magazines or wait for the newspaper, nothing like that. Digital. 5 minutes, I could probably show you a good 50 stocks that went up. But yeah, so on Saturday, you can do that. And when we say Saturday, we're saying from Friday night, because, it doesn't close. Yeah, it doesn't open on Saturday, but neither is it open like Friday evening either. So you have to be able to plan. It's like, you have an exam coming up. You don't wait to the last minute. You know what I'm saying? And to study for it. And not only that, you can do other things too. You can talk to your professor. You can talk to, people who are doing good with the class. You could probably call a colleague or two, who are not too far in that industry or in that, in that ideology. So from Friday night till 9:30 Monday morning, you're putting in a certain amount of strength and capacity that on Monday, when the stock market opens at 9:30, guess what, baby? Your joint is going up. Your joint's been up. You've done certain things, such as, academia perspective or analytical perspective, but you've also done some trading. Cryptocurrency is still active, and that's part of your portfolio. You can buy and sell it as many times, anytime. You can become a day trader on crypto any given moment. And I wish I had, focused on crypto, like really, really focused and studied crypto at the very beginning. But at least I got it at the end. At least at the end, I understand, the timing.
It was like $3,000.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about, but it's not just, it's crypto. I'm not saying Bitcoin. I'm saying crypto. Cryptocurrency in general itself is, quite promising. So, when you build your portfolio, you need to have some crypto there. The reason being, if you're working with crypto and, for some strange reason, the transaction or the transfer ends, like, you can't get any money from your bank, you can liquidate your crypto any given moment to buy the stock with that. And again, this is important because, again, if you're working Friday night and for some strange reason you can't get cash into your ATM bank or whatever, and they've already blocked you and blah, 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 you need to be able to go to crypto or of the similar. And I can't really speak on, but I'm trying to focus on, again, there's so much that you can do, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, to get you going on Monday. So again, when you establish the portfolio, you have to have all sorts of things. If you're going to have they'd have like these, makeshift rivers or whatever. I mean, they know what they put in there. If you're going to establish a stock portfolio, you need to know, all these different, type of mechanisms or components, I should say, that are going to strengthen, number one, balance, number two, succeed, number three. All right. So strengthen, balance, succeed. What is the strength of it? The strength of it is the fact that there's a lot of stocks there, which are of so many different sectors. It's diverse. You're always encouraged to have a diverse portfolio. Don't just get one or two. That's why when I talked to you, I said 100. I personally, I have hundreds of stocks. I do. Okay. And they don't all have like $100 each. Again, I do penny stocks, so they have a couple of dollars. But it's still, you know what I'm saying? It still enables me to be able to certify that you can actually make, as a beginner with just $1,000, you could definitely establish yourself where you're making $3,000 a month on a continuous basis. And it's not something that is going to be like, I made $3,000 now, but the next month, I didn't make. No, it's not going to be like that. Continuously $3,000. Continuously. If you have $1,000 and you decide that you are going to learn how to become a successful stock manager, stock portfolio manager, I mean, you have to be willing to learn, obviously. You have to be willing to learn. And that's something that people don't like doing. They don't like to take the time to study. That's what you all hated so much. You all hated just taking the time to sit and read. No, people hate that. They like to see, a lot of this and that. But let's face it. I mean, how many millions, actually, how many trillions of dollars are in the stock market? It's a lot of money. If you study it, a year's worth of study could really earn you. So it shouldn't be surprising that, studying a year would earn you about $60,000 a year. If you studied it, if you took the time to actually study it and develop your own systems, develop your own, senses, you have to understand your components. You have to understand the ins and outs of your portfolio. You know your strengths, your weaknesses, when to invest with, confidence, and with comfortability. A lot of these stock if you really ready to be a stockbroker and you're asked, okay, you ready? Yeah. Okay. Would you care to lose $100,000? And you're like, what? No, heck no, I can't, because I don't have because I never made $100,000. I never had to deal with $100,000. But now that wouldn't be the same for somebody who actually is used to losing $200,000, $300,000, right? What's the difference between you and him? You're both human beings. The appetite. He has a better appetite in what is going on and has better balance in his appetite than you do. You have no idea. You have no appetite. I mean, your appetite tells you that is crazy. That is ridiculous.
It's relative to him.
Exactly.
How much he's been doing.
Exactly. That's the thing. But now the thing about it is, you would be able to give a better answer if you were used to losing on a continuous basis $1 or $2 or $3 or $4. And since you did put in the time to study, to learn, to practice, then you would be, I would be able to say, okay, I'm comfortable losing $3 because that's, when I look at my portfolio, if anything is, and that's a stretch, by the way, for me to say $3 is a stretch, because when I look at my portfolio, if there is any stock, again, they're only, they're a couple of dollars. They're not hundreds of dollars. They're a couple of dollars per stock. They're like $7, $8, whatever, $15, whatever. But the system mechanism in terms of saving risk, or in terms of deviating from the risk system that the stock market has, that a lot of young stock professionals do not understand, is that risk is real, first of all. And you have to have a system which is not only going to eliminate and deviate your forces from risk, but be able to predict it, understand? Be able to overcome it, be able to outdo it, be able to, in this case, what happens really is, like, again, if I look at my stock portfolio and hundreds of stocks, and I go through all of them, I can practically eliminate any stock that is costing me more than $2, not $3, $2. If this stock has a minus sign and it has $2 after it, then you gone. You're fired. You're out. Whatever company that is. Well, I wouldn't say it like that, but basically what I would probably do is I would go and I would sell again 95. I mean, I would see if it has a dividend and all this other stuff, but usually I would still sell it because it's costing me. So I would sell, if there's $5 in there, I would sell to probably like the $3.50.
So if the penny stocks are continuously going down.
No, don't get anything wrong, okay? Understand something. The stock market only has one direction, that is up. It's not down. Yes, certain sectors at certain times. If you look at the graph, you see, how it's like a wave or a fish going through a wave or whatever. So you have that. Now, that's movement. You need to understand how the movement transpires. So let's say it's going down, below value. How bad is it? The question is it at the beginning of the pandemic when it crashed, or is it after they passed the first stimulus package and, people are happy about that, or is it as we're getting closer? So you have, these cycles that it goes through, and then you have where they talk about the V, where it hits the bottom. This is the last thing I'm going to say about this. Very important. When the stock market crashes, which it did crash. It crashed, crashed 2020 and all these other crashes that it had. But otherwise, the stock market only has one direction, which is up. All these stocks, as long as they don't get kicked off of the stock market exchange, they're going up, period. You need to understand that. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. If you get involved in the stock industry, if you got involved 10 years ago and you stayed, the whole thing, the whole nine, by now you're definitely a millionaire. There's no question about it. I mean, people know better, but anyway. You became a millionaire and you just didn't know about it. You know what I'm saying? Can you again understand that when you go to sell, you do not sell the whole thing. So, at that point in time, I would just sell 85%. So I would sell that, and then the rest of it, I would leave it there. You understand? And when it starts to go back up, I'm buying on it again. Because I didn't forget you, man. I didn't forget. You cost me $2. Okay? I want my $2. And if you got dividend, I want that too. I'm gonna get my dividend. You know what I'm saying? But since you going up, man, you gonna pay up. You feel me? So that's what that is. But you have to have, and the portfolio is gonna be, successful. Particularly, when you decided that you were in it to learn. And by the way, and may God forgive me, may Allah forgive me if I ever put him out of the picture at any given moment. But it's only by him that I know this stuff. Only by him. I mean, I was frightened and terrified. But what I remember 20 years ago in economics is that when the stock market crashes, there is a bottom line. There is a time when it actually hits the ground. The moment it hits that ground, to where it starts it hits it first of all like a ball, like a tennis ball. And if your tennis ball hits the ground, what happens? A good tennis ball will go back up the V shape, and it will keep going up. So people need to understand this system. But only by Allah, I said, oh Allah, if I learn how to do this, I'm gonna let everybody know that you taught me how to do this. And then that was practically, alhamdulillah, like right now, I'm thankful, I'm grateful because he really did teach me how to do this.
Yo, I bought this stock for $2.97.
Yeah. I mean, I could go on about it, but I'm not going to at this time.